Merch alert.
That's right, you heard her. We have merch now. If you're looking for a mug, a hoodie, a shirt, a blanket, we're your people. Be sure to check out our exclusive I Was a Bravo Fan Before Scandal tees. They will be perfect to wear while watching the VPR reunion.
Check out the link in the description of the podcast or our Instagram bio.
Da 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 da.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, y'all? How is everything? This is our Wednesday episode, which means it is pop culture time.
It show is. It is. You guys, I'm so proud of you. You're already halfway through the week. And I want to remind you guys that it is September. We are in the Burr months. We got through this hot ass summer. It's still hot for us, but for some other people, it's giving fall. The pumpkin spice flavored things are returning, and y'all know I'm a Caucasian woman in the Burr months. Do not call me African American. This is Bravo kind of black because only Aaron is. During September, October, November, and December, that pumpkin spice goes ham. I care about three things, four things: pumpkin spice, Halloween, 5 things, my birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. 6 things. Okay. Like, I'm a completely different, renewed, happier person in the fall. And we don't even have fall because we're in South Florida. But, it's going down. We have a lot of movies coming out this fall. We have a lot of shows coming back this fall. I am just so happy the state of entertainment because, this is our outlet. This is something that we really enjoy. So let's get into our Black excellence. Do you want to go first or?
No, you can go first this time around.
Okay, so even though I did not see the Deliverance, I want to shout out, and is it Andrew or Andrade?
Andrade.
Shout out to her because I'm hearing that this movie is the bee's knees. Like, people are really saying that they got, and I can tell from the commercial. I know Monique did her thing. I know Audrey did her thing. And I know that although I would not agree that Glenn Close and whatever character she's based on is the fabric of the Black community, like, I don't agree on that. I will say that Glenn Close, what I saw,
a great job.
She ate down. So shout out to the actual whole cast of the Deliverance, but specifically Audrey Day. And who else? Here
you go.
I just have to be honest. Pharrell.
Here you go.
Pharrell, literally. And then you guys, I realized when I was like, I'm like, why am I so obsessed with Pharrell? It turns out I met him when I was in the hospital when I was younger. And I think that has such a profound impact on me, even though I forgot about it for a while, that it just stayed in the fabric of my being. And that's why I love him so much. He came to the children's hospital. He said hello to all the kids there. My mom, I can't find the picture, but my mom forced me to take a picture with him. So it's me like just shrumped over, and Pharrell dripped the fuck out. And he made it like, okay, he had security with him, but you could just tell that he was very affected by seeing kids because it was like the huge playroom. You know, the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, that big ass playroom that they used to have. So he was very affected by seeing sick kids. And you could tell that he was like taking it all in. He would sit down with each of us individually. And although when I was little, I was shy. So I didn't really talk to him, but I remember seeing him talking to other kids. And I'm like, wow. And this is obviously he's still in the height of his career, but he's in a different place in his career. Like, music wise, his production, but I'm talking about he was like an artist at the front. This is when he was really, really out there. So just to see a celebrity really take the time to say hi to and talk to children at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital and be genuine about it and take all these pictures and talk to our parents and offer kind words and also just be for real. It just had such an effect on me that I was like, I don't know, I brought it with me. And then even if I never met him, he's still Pharrell. He just announced that he will be having a Pharrell Lego come out because, we had the Pharrell Lego movie coming out, which we have already talked about. I'm going to be getting that Pharrell Lego. I don't know if it's a Lego set, but I will be getting it. And also, thank you, Pharrell, for visiting me in the hospital when I was sick and I was younger. And also just to see him in person, like we always said, he's like this hip hop, but also alternative, like punk skater. He just shows me like Black people are not a monolith and can be whatever they want to be. So shout out to the cast of Deliverance. And once again, for like the 50th time, Pharrell Williams.
Shout out to Pharrell. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's been your Black excellence at least
Skateboard P.
At least 11 times.
Yeah, Skateboard P.
And it makes perfect sense.
And it's going to be 11 more, you guys.
Mine is actually going to go to Victoria Monet and Usher because they just released a new song called SOS. And it is very good. I actually have two, four technically, because they're two different people, but they just came out with the song. It's really good, really soulful. It's bringing me back to right? Like, you said what?
Is it called Sex on Sight?
Is that what
the SOS is for?
And it's bringing back that old school R&B that I love so much. I love the sound of that. And I just also want to give my second Black excellence to Coleman Domingo and Nia Long because they just took a picture together. And it reminded me of this Michael Jackson movie that we're getting. And it's like, I'm really excited about it. I'm just so excited to see it because the pictures that I've been seeing have just been amazing. And it's also giving me, seeing Nia Long and seeing him, Coleman Domingo, it's giving me the American Dream, the Jackson's 5, the American Dream.
And that's what we're trying to get at here.
Angela Bassett, and we had I can't think of his name, but he looks just like Coleman Domingo in my head. It's like him reincarnated. It's the weirdest thing.
But that's why when they announced it, I'm like, this is on point.
Yeah, they chose the perfect cast. So I'm really excited to see what's to come. I believe it comes out next year.
Yes, 2025.
If they don't push it back.
Don't do that. Please.
Yeah, but hopefully we get it next year. I'm really excited to see. And I'm happy that they're taking a while, which means that it should be good.
You're getting it right.
Yeah, you're getting it right. Because the pictures that I've seen is right. It looks...
ever since they released, like, okay, Michael Jackson's nephew, I'm like, okay, so if anyone, this is great. But when they put him in the full, like, Michael Jackson costume and that picture came out and I couldn't tell which one was the picture and which one was Michael Jackson.
Yes.
I was like, yeah.
They did it. They did it. They did their thing with it.
So excited.
So I'm excited to see. And also, the Deliverance cast, which was really good, which we'll get into soon. I'll tell you all my thoughts on it. But they did an amazing job. And Lee Daniels, that'll be a third because he really did a great job with this movie. I know the end wasn't all that great, but it was a good movie for what it was.
I mean, I feel like it's always hard to stick a landing. But since it's based on a true story and you change certain things, it's even harder because these people are real people from what I hear. You guys, I didn't watch because I'm a scaredy cat. Now, it's slashers, I can do it. Psychological thrillers, like Blink Twice I was talking about, I can do it. But spiritual stuff, I can't really, like, deal with it so much when it's a movie. I can deal with it more when it's a show because I feel like with a show, it's more obviously fake, and especially because this was based on a true story.
Right.
So like that's what really spooked me. And it's people keep asking me, if you watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, then how can you not watch anything else? To me, I don't know. I went into that and I knew that it was like a Riverdale spinoff. So I was like, whatever. And it was also Sabrina. So it was like, it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. In my head, the whole time, that's what I'm thinking. But, you know, it did get spooky. It did get,
Yeah.
I
Some of
did have
that,
to pray
I
after
told
it.
you. As soon as I seen one of those things, I was like, I don't think this is for me.
I did have to pray after it each and every time. So that's why I'm like, I understand how people can get into horror and, you know, not mind it. Because if I watch Sabrina, then, you know, I should be able to watch anything else. But I just can't. I don't know why. I just can't. So I have Aaron here, who obviously is a horror enthusiast. You told me about that scary ass movie one time last year. I forgot what it was
Yeah,
called.
Red Dead Rise, I think.
Yes. And I was thinking about that shit for like the whole.
That was a good movie, but it was really
Exactly.
So,
Like,
they
I'm
didn't play with that.
scared.
This one was a little bit different, I will say. Like it had its creepy elements, especially it was a scene at the end. Look, I'll just get into it.
Yeah, just get
So
into it.
pretty much this movie is about a family. We're seeing a family, we're seeing a mother. She has two sons. One of them is Caleb from Stranger Things. The other is played by Anthony B. Jenkins. And then she has a daughter who's played by Demi Singleton. So she's struggling. She's single, she's raising her kids by herself. And it's a bit hard. And she also has her own trouble relationship with her mom, who's played by Glenn Close, Alberta. And we see that throughout the movie. So once they establish that the mom has money trouble, we also establish that she has a drinking problem too, and it's really bad. So this can lead to her sometimes abusing her kids or mistreating them or just getting overworked and just mad and cursing everybody out for no reason. So, you know, she kind of already leaves this taste in your mouth. You don't necessarily hate her, but you can see that she's very troubled. Um, and so we get into Cynthia Henry, who's played by Monique. You know, she's a caseworker. She comes by just to make sure the kids are good, just to make sure Ebony isn't drinking too much. And during her first visit, one of the kids has bruises, and she's like, "How did these get here?" And you know, Ebony's like, "Well, I don't know. Like, shit, I didn't leave them on them." So it's like you can't really, from the context that they give you, you can't really tell if she did it or if it's the storyline that
Something
we're being
spooky
led
going
to.
on.
Yeah, the spooky shit going on. So we also see Anthony, well, Andre's character, he's the youngest boy. He keeps going to this damn basement that they have in this house. And I notice whenever they open this basement door, like flies come out, it's kind of smelly down there. For some reason they don't want to go down there. They find a dead, I believe it's a cat or some kind of bird or some kind of fucking animal that they find in that bitch, and then they hire somebody to take it out. So that was like the first creepy, I guess, weird thing. Then Andre, he keeps sleepwalking and going to this damn basement door and banging his head against it. It's like it gets really weird, and we're like what's going on? And he's in contact with this boy. And you're like, who the hell is he talking about? At first I thought it was like an imaginary friend, but then throughout the as the movie continues, you find out that it's the deceased son of one of the characters, which is Arjan Ellis Taylor. She plays Hippolyta in Lovecraft Country. She's one of my favorite actresses too. Um, but you find out that it's her deceased son that she tried to save, and it kind of connects because she has the skills, and I guess she has the strength to bring the demonic powers out of this woman's son, which is the little boy who keeps hitting his head against the door. So Eventually it gets to a point where she's like, the caseworker comes, the boys, they're being abused. Then Monique's like, at this point, like, girl, you about to get your kids taken away, because it just looks like she keeps putting her hands on her kids. And she's like, well, that's not the case. Like, there's a bunch of spooky shit going on in this house. And it's also causing the kids to do weird shit too. Like, for instance, Caleb's freaking out at school. The little boy, he throws his shit on a teacher. It's just like, it ends up getting like really weird. The little girl, she ends up um having her cycle in school, and she just stands there and it just kind of drips down her leg. So it's like, and this is all happening in the same day. So she gets this phone, like the mom gets the phone call, and they're like, come pick all your kids up, actually, because they're
Absolutely.
just all doing weird shit. And this leads into an argument with her and Alberta, which is Glenn Close's character, her mom's character. And she's like, you know what? It's you causing stress on these kids because you're always cursing at them and mistreating them. And she's like, no, that's not it. Like, and you feel bad for Ebony's character because you're like, she's not really even doing anything. Like, yes, she's trouble, but it's some spooky shit going on right now. So that little boy, you end up disliking his character so much. Like, from the time he came on the screen, I was like, he needs to die, because he just instigates things. And then, like, once Monique's character comes around, or once like somebody of authority comes around, he's like, I don't know what happened. And it's like, you're the fucking
I
demon.
hate.
Yeah. So Monique gets a glimpse of it, because all of a sudden when she comes visit, so they take the kids away um to get them some help. So the smallest boy, he's in a mental institution now. So once Monique visits him, she realizes, oh, this boy is possessed, because like he has demonic ass power. Like, he's up on the ceiling.
Uh-uh.
He's up on the ceiling.
Uh-uh.
He's able to, they have him tied down. He's able to break free of that in just seconds. And she seen that shit and she was out of there. And shout out to them, because they said it was a scene of Monique literally crawling on the floor, but they took that out. And I'm like, I would like to see it. So Lee, please put that in the deluxe version of the movie and I can watch. But yeah, at that point they do realize, okay, this boy has a problem. So Ebony's character, and like I said, Aja and Ellis Taylor, they meet up, and Ajan is like, listen, I'm gonna help you get the demon out of your son, so we're just gonna rescue him from the hospital. So they rescue the smallest boy, and she does the spell, and for a second it seems like it's working, but then she says some shit about being an evangelist and all of that, and that's when I kind of knew that that wasn't gonna work, because that's the whole thing. But as soon as I started hearing evangelist, I'm like, oh, oh gosh.
We won't get into that,
Like, we
but
won't get into that, but it just did. She died. Just to make a long story short, she
I believe
died.
it. How did she
He
die?
he got killed. He threw her ass up and down against the floor
Yeah.
and like broke her body. So she was
Yeah.
done. She literally was like, I'm dying. And then Ebony's character was like, I know. And she ended up having to rescue her son. Somehow, some way, she got the demon spirit out of him. Um, And it was a deep message, because the demon was also with her. She was holding so many demons in. She was so stressed out. She was hurt about her mom and the relationship that she had with her mom. I guess because her mom mistreated her in the past. She was mistreated by men. She was a single mother. She was stressed out about raising these kids and providing a lifestyle for them. On top of that, Glenn Close's character, which is her mom, she's sick. So now she's providing for her, because her insurance is like, I guess, suspended, or she's not able to use it anymore. So it's like, it's a whole bunch of stress on her. So it's kind of like, once she releases these demons and once she embraces what's going on, like, her son also releases the demons as well. And she gets her son back. She ends up, and at the end, it's kind of realistic, because they're still like, no, you can't necessarily get your kids back, but like we can work something out, and maybe at some point you can. So she
You visit
eventually,
them.
yeah, you visit them. So she eventually got in a car or whatever, and she hauled ass. Like, and I don't know if she was able to get her kids back full custody or if it was just partial, but that's how the story ended.
Where were her other kids when she was like trying to get this her
They
kids
were
possessed?
now see that's the part that
Depossessed.
I did not like necessarily because it's like their storylines weren't really making sense. They were also in mental institutions, I guess, in a different part, but they didn't really pay them no attention. Like Caleb was walking around acting crazy, scratching his skin off and shit. And the little girl, she was like shaking at a desk. And I'm just like,
So I'm like, what
what's going on with her? What's going on with him?
with them?
Yeah. But I guess it wasn't really about them. It was about the little boy. The little boy apparently had the control over everybody. He was the one that was like pulling the
Okay,
strings and
so
doing
you
all
have
the
to
shit.
save
Yeah,
him in order to save everyone else, the
everybody.
mom, the sister, and the
Exactly.
brother.
So once he got out of it, everybody was like, what happened? Like they didn't even know what was going on. So he had that power. And this was all from a demon that was in their house.
This is crazy.
It was
In my
crazy.
Candy Burr's voice, this is
And I
crazy.
was expecting Monique to play a bigger part. But I did enjoy her character. I did
What ended
enjoy
up
her
with her?
character. She was just a caseworker. She was like, this boy crazy. And she kind of disappeared after that. And then she came back when he was not crazy anymore. And she was like, oh,
You get visitation.
yeah, you can get visitation. We'll work something out.
Same, because I'm not gonna do all that. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Like, once I seen that shit and once I seen his ass on the wall, I
they
was like,
wouldn't even
yeah,
take that from me.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll just transfer. Y'all can keep this job. No worries.
So, did you watch anything on like the real story that it's based on?
No, I didn't. Cause honestly, that was like too much for me, and I don't want to. I don't want to bring that into real life.
Because
I'm
that's what
okay
it.
not knowing the real story. I like the Lee Daniels version because it's make believe. Like that is not real, But once it gets real, then I
That's
feel
what
like
scares me about it. It's like,
who knows what you're inviting in your house. And I seen
mm-mm.
somebody that I went to school with, and she was like, "Do not put that movie on because it's very demonic." And I remember that's what
It's
my
too
mom
much.
said about Ghost Rider. Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
Well, is he not?
Did I tell you that she got that DVD and she literally went outside and placed it in the trash can
So
at 1 o'clock in the
you
morning?
did tell me. Your mom was not playing about it, and I don't blame her.
She
Like,
literally
there are
took the
just
DVD.
some movies that deeply disturb you, and you're like throwing it away. And here, it's not going to happen because it's in here. It needs to
But I'm
be
like, Ghost
outside.
Rider?
That's how I feel about Where the Wild Things Are. Something in my spirit, like, it does not sit well. I couldn't
What?
even finish the movie.
What was it about it?
Something.
I used to like it because that song that they had. I forgot what it was
It probably was
called.
a song.
Mm-hmm. And
Think
I'm like,
about
I
it.
love this movie. And it was just that song that I liked. It wasn't really the movie because I watched it and I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Is it? Or is it sending subliminal messages to mess with
Maybe
your
that's
mind?
why. I, I think we all feel that way. Because that's exactly how I felt about Sabrina. Like once I seen them do that witchcraft star and they were like lined up underneath that tree, I was like, this has to turn off now.
Yeah, I understand. I understand completely. And the thing about it is that I feel like when I get into, because that was like season 2 when they really started like being witches, okay?
Mm.
But I feel like I'm the type of person is like when I'm invested, I have to see it
They're
through.
like, fuck being witches, we're in hell. Would you like to come? Like at that point.
But then it was also the girl, she's on You now, and she's also in this other movie, her and her finger waves and the gray
Yes.
hair. Like, she served so much that I was like, and then also R.I.P. Chance Perdomo. He was in it and he was so fine that I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna treat this like Riverdale. Because Riverdale also, like, they weren't as bad as Sabrina, but they would have some episodes where I'm just like, why are you
Y'all getting
so
too close?
demonic? Like, this is Archie comics. I don't read comics, but I don't think they did this.
And they're like, well.
And I'm like watching Sabrina and I'm just like, well, where's the episode with Britney Spears? You know, like, that's not Sabrina. I was expecting more, like, I knew it was a dark taste, a dark twist on the Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And they even had, you know, the two aunties talk about it at one point, but I'm just like, what? When are we going to get to the fun? And she's like, no, I have to go to hell to save my boyfriend.
And I'm like,
literally,
where is
fucking
Salem the cat?
Satan.
And why isn't he talking and being witty and fun? Like, where is that at?
She's like, I literally have to go to hell because my boyfriend is with Satan right now and I have to save him
And the aunt's
and
like,
bring him
well,
back.
I guess you gotta go.
And then the girl from fucking, what do you call it, from Gen V, she's like, okay. And she had her own thing going on. Like, she went blind for like a long time.
Because of the devil.
And then fucking, was that Ross Lynch or what? It wasn't Teen Beach Movie anymore. I was just like, what's going on? I ain't never seen no shit like that. But I rebuke all of it. I rebuke Sabrina. I rebuke the Deliverance. And I rebuke all this scary shit. It is spooky season. I'm going to share this list that I found. Actually, this list that I found that is not too scary. It's like spooky stuff for people who are scaredy cats like me. Like Coraline, like, you know, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like,
Coraline is still kind of like,
but something about it, I don't know. I think Coraline hypnotizes me for some reason, and also her Bob, and then the other mother being so snatched.
they used to play
really
that
love
in
it.
Pediatric Associates all the time. Coraline in Finding Nemo and Fishtails.
Not even Shark Tale, and that's what really would piss me off because I was like, "Can you play Shark Tale?"
Oh yeah, Shark Tales.
Not at mine. You know how there was like this one movie that was exactly like trying to copy Shark Tale.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's what they would play at mine. I don't know which location you went to, but at my Pediatric Associates, they would never play Shark Tale. They would play.
I went to the one that's
the fake one.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
telepathically. But yeah, I rebuke all that. Gonna send you guys I'm gonna share it to our stories. The spooky movies, but they're still like Halloween Town type beat, like cutesy, very demure.
We're very demure,
you know, very demure,
cutesy.
very cutesy, very mindful. Halloween movies. And also something very mindful, it is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. And you guys, we launched a GoFundMe because last year we raised money to help directly sickle cell, not patients, but people with sickle cell like me. We were able to send out like Amazon gift cards, like, because I have other belief in this is what's going to happen when I get rich, not if, but when I get rich and I start my charity foundation. I'm not going to have you jump through hoops to be able to qualify for something. All you got to do is tell me that not just tell me, but prove to me that you have sickle cell, whether that's like a screenshot of you in the doctor's office or a screenshot of maybe like a hospital visit or maybe a doctor's visit, or like just there's different ways to prove, or even if you know something about sickle cell that you can tell me personally. That's how we, decide who gets something. When I get a foundation, you're not going to have to jump through hoops. If you have sickle cell, if you have the trait, if you are affected by it, I'm going to help you. But last year we were able to do like gift cards. We were able to send out aspirin, Motrin, heating pads, shit like that, comforted stuff like blankets, stuff like that. We sent it directly to people with sickle cell that I found online. There's also a sickle cell center in Hollywood, Florida, that I will be going to once we are able to raise some money. And I'm going to just get gift cards. I'm going to go there. Obviously, everyone there has it because it's called the Sickle Cell Center. I'm just going to give out the gift cards. So we are raising money again. We were able to raise around 1,000 last year, I believe. It's only been a day, and we are already at $600. So shout out to Sarah, shout out to Christina, shout out to Brandon, who was the first one to donate. Brandon always supports us. Shout out to Brandon.
Love Brandon.
Like obsessed. Shout out to the book club podcast that Brandon has.
Yes, the literary latte podcast.
Shout out to that podcast. And Sarah, love you, Sarah. Christina, Brandon. I'm blanking on the other names, but a lot of people were able to donate, and I really appreciate it. And I want to get to the 1,000. We have the whole month to get to 1,000, you guys. So when you get paid on Friday, come back, donate. And I'm going to obviously upload a video of where your money went. And that's another thing about the charities and foundations. Sometimes you don't know where the money goes. Sometimes the people just take it. Like they're just living lavish. I'm not Joel Osteen, okay? I'm going to, I'm sorry for all the moms and all the Joel Osteen lovers. And I hope that my mom never sees this.
He said that he hid it behind a picture.
Okay. For later, for safekeeping.
Yeah.
Well, mine is not going to be for safekeeping. We're giving the shit out to people with sickle cell immediately. And thank you guys for donating. Thank you guys for always supporting. And please, you know what? If you can't donate, that's okay. My whole thing with this is to raise awareness. Chastity, love you, Chastity. I love to refer to people as their screen names. Like, I call Javier Paco Javier. I'm like, Paco, what's up, Paco? But yeah, and I call Chastity, I'm like Steelers girl. But anyways, like I am going to show you guys, you know, like where we give the money out. I'm going to make a video at the end of the month. I feel like we are 60% of the way there. We're at $600. So when we get to 1,000, that's going to be my goal is to meet last year, and hopefully we're able to raise more because then we'll be able to help more people. And we're not doing this. We're not like starting a charity. We're literally just taking the money that you give us and giving it out and showing you how we do it. Yeah. If you can't donate anything, we understand. Like I've been there. Like, but what you can do that also helps is to raise awareness and share the GoFundMe link. And you guys know us, so we're good for it. And we just wanted to say that we appreciate you and announce that we are raising money for sickle cell again. Thank you, love you, and we will be doing this all month.
So, you know, keep the donations coming, guys, because I seen it. I was like, damn, y'all are really like...
Open that wallet, baby.
I feel like, is this the toothless and the homeless?
Listen, baby. Watch out, Dorit.
Are homeless not toothless?
Homeless not toothless. Toothless and the homeless. They said that Beverly Hills and Potomac is coming back soon, so
I can't wait to hear that. Oh, also a rumor, guys. A random rumor.
What?
And I'm not 100% sure if it's true, but one of our favorites, I'm not gonna say who, because I don't want to start nothing and then call nobody out. I said one of our favorites. I didn't put no names on it, but one of our faves might be pregnant.
Okay, well, you can't just... Is it from Bravo?
It's from Bravo. You not, because they had... No.
Okay. Wow, that narrows it down a lot.
Yeah.
You guys, if you're not watching the YouTube, I just realized if you guys are not watching the YouTube video, a lot of you, well, not a lot of you, most of you, 90% of you, just listen to the audio and we appreciate it. What we just did was I pointed to my skin because I wanted to know if it was a black person or a white person. So it's a black person.
It's a black
allegedly
person.
pregnant, and obviously we can't speak on
allegedly. We don't know. We don't know yet, but
okay. That's hot.
I love to see it.
That's hot. I wonder who it is. I'm so invested, child.
Yeah.
Man.
I wonder who could it be. I'll tell you after who I think it is.
Okay. Give us your guesses.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Or if you know, or if you heard about it, let us know what you know.
Yeah, like, do you think it's Portia? Do you think it's Phaedra? Do you think it's...
I heard that Phaedra was supposed to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, I did. I've seen
From
something
Taste
about
of
that.
Reality. Shout out to Taste of Reality.
I can see that.
To cite our sources. Yeah, it's been her year, but can you see her dancing?
Yeah.
Like tango.
Absolutely, yeah.
You
Phaedra likes that
far?
shit. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I actually think that she should team up with what's the guy's name from the challenge? There was just some traitors with her. No. Not Johnny Bananas. The one with the blue eyes.
Oh, Dan, is it? Oh, the one. JT. Was it
JT? JT or JP?
JP Morgan.
One of them. But I want them to partner up. I think that would be really good.
You know that's not how Dancing with the Stars works, right?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys. Speaking of Dancing with the Stars, this is literally something that has been going on since the weekend. You see, I got real close to the mic because I care about this a lot. Artem Chigvintsev, Dancing with the Stars professional, was arrested.
This is with the Nikki Bella stuff, right?
Why'd you say it like that?
I feel like that when you told me about it, that's how I said it too.
No, you were more excited.
Didn't I say Nikki with 2 Ks?
It is with 2 Ks. You said something else. You made a joke of it a little bit because I forced you to care about it. But I'm speaking to my people finally, and
I cannot believe that happened to Nikki Bella.
Because I am so obsessed with the Bella twins. I think this is a perfect time. Nikki, you listen to this. Or Lisa Barlow, please tell your friend, Nikki Bella, to bring back the Bella twins. I don't want the podcast. I'm sorry. I know that they're podcast OGs. I know that that's one of their main sources of income. I love that they want to live their life in private, but I don't want to see a private life. Especially, I'm hearing that. So what had happened was allegedly she threw a shoe at him and he called the police, but then he canceled the police. But then when the police got there, they saw physical evidence that there was there was something going on. And guess what, Nikki? I hope you beat his motherfucking ass because you're a wrestler. Show him who you are, Simba. Because listen, that man, if he put his hands on you, especially when you got that little baby, the baby was allegedly present during whatever happened, and they won't confirm that the victim was Nikki Bella, but from every other source, it's very clear she didn't have no ring on when she judged the hot dog eating contest yesterday. Like, you guys, I am so I'm doing hour to hour Googling, trying to see if there's any more information going on, because I did not think that Artem was the one who was like this. Like, usually I love Daniel Brian Danielson, but if it was Daniel Bryan, because that's who Bree is with, I would have been less surprised, because sometimes when you're an athlete, you kind of get that in your head. But you're a ballerina and you trying to put your hands on a fucking woman, bitch. I hope she body slammed your ass and literally went back to her WrestleMania days and showed you who the motherfucking boss is, because don't you put your hands on a fucking woman. Period. She did not have her ring on when she judged the hot dog contest. They said that she is looking for a divorce attorney. Okay. He is not going to be able to compete in Dancing with the Stars because he has won Dancing with the Stars multiple times, one being with Caitlin Bristow just I don't know, was that 3 seasons ago, I believe? He's a very good dancer. I thought that he was calm, but I don't know. I guess underneath that is a very dark, dark spirit.
That's what they say about Ice Spice too.
Would you like to tell the people about this Ice Spice thing when I'm done?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I don't like it one bit. I really liked Artem. He's a great dancer. He's very handsome. You know, they had a journey down the aisle. Obviously, he met her when she was with John Cena. Her and John Cena were supposed to get married. He said that he didn't want no kids, and then he at the last minute he was like, "Okay, I'll have kids." But then at the last minute, she was like, "You know what? Let's not get married because I don't want you to regret having kids with me because you didn't want to have kids. You didn't want to get married. Like I already had to fight you on getting married." But then John Cena had ended up marrying another girl just a few years later. So maybe it just wasn't you, boo. But it's just so much going
They'll
on.
get
And
married.
like I could not believe this shit. So she's divorcing him allegedly. Good. Because if he'll do it once, he'll do it again. And I know you're a wrestler, but at the end of the day, you know, he's a man. So I don't know how strong he is, but I hope you call Bree. I hope y'all jumped his ass too. So yeah, we're just waiting to tell more details. I think that she is going to be taking more gigs, but what I would hope is bring back Total Divas because we have a new generation of WWE divas, and then also bring back Total Bellas so you can tell your side of the story and we can see what you're doing. And if Brie don't want to do Total Bellas because she's more of a private kind of person, I get it. How about do Nikki Bella? Or no, well, Nikki Garcia, the Nikki Garcia show. And it's just her. And it's her coming back from, you know, getting divorced.
Total
it's
Nikki.
Her, yeah, following Nikki. Total Nikki. That's it. I would like to see it very much. And then you can still have the podcast, just like I do it. If I get my own show, I'm still going to have this podcast on the side.
Especially because you would still have a podcast if you have a show?
Yes, because the show is going to bring me more listeners to the podcast, which means more sponsorships, which means more downloads, which means more money.
That's true.
And I talk my shit for free anyway.
So I think I would talk, if I had a show, I would talk about myself like real bad. Like, but I wouldn't.
What would you say?
I would just be a different person on the podcast.
You would create a character.
Yeah. And I would be like, oh, did you see that episode? What a piece of shit.
Well,
what do you guys think?
Well, yeah, I would definitely have an after show for my own show. Then I'd have a spinoff. I have a podcast network. Like I have it all up here in the old noggin. But Ice Spice, you said that she has a dark spirit.
That's what I heard. So last night, I don't know if y'all seen on the Neighborhood Talk and just all over social media. I follow the Neighborhood Talk because they're a little less, but they're but listen, so they said that Ice Spice and Cleo Trappa fell out. Like, if y'all know who Cleo Trappa is, she is from the Impact. And specifically, I want to say New York. Yeah, the Impact New York. But she's also known as being Ice Spice's friend. You know, she rolls with Ice Spice. Yeah, a social media person as well. You probably have seen her on Instagram and everything. But I don't know if y'all remember, but a few months ago, Stormy, which is Ice Spice's old friend, came out and said all this stuff about her and how she's not a real friend. You know, they accuse her of being a colorist. They accuse her of a lot of shit, honestly. And some people that took it lightly. You know, they didn't take it too serious. I was actually one of those people. Because I'm like, I don't really know who this girl is. I don't know her like that. So, you know, I'm just not going to dive too deep into it. But Cleo Trappa came out recently and she shared her experience about being on tour with Ice Spice. And she said that it was not a paid gig. You know, this was something that they planned on doing literally the day before the tour started. Literally the day before. She was like, come on tour with me. And she was like, you know, I got you. I'll support you. You can, you know, stay with me and I'll take care of you. Like, pretty much. Just go on tour with me. So Cleo Trappa, you know, she's an upcoming artist as well. So she's like, yeah, you know, why not? And the thing is, just to get the story straight, they're not the closest of friends. Like they're just like they're friends. Like, they're girls, but they're not like they haven't known each
They're
other for
not
like a
besties,
lifetime.
yeah.
Yeah. They actually just met like two years ago.
Right.
Not even that long ago. So she said, once she went on tour, she started to notice like a bunch of weird shit. But it started off because once they got done with the first concert that they did, she realized that Ice Spice's bags were being removed from the venue and her bag was left behind. She was like, well, why is my bag left behind and not being put on the tour bus? Because I'm with you. That was like the first thing. And then when she told the guy, she's like, can you take my bag down? He was like, no. So she had to carry her bag down by herself. Um, and it's kind of humiliating because if you're an artist and you're on tour, why are you carrying your own bag down? You're the talent. So it just looks weird. Like this isn't a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole ass concert. Like people are
Right.
coming out to a venue. You are an artist. You're like in
And
fucking
you guys are not
costume.
like artists that are unknown, like underground
Yeah.
artists. You're Ice Spice.
I
So
mean, yeah.
whatever your I mean, she is independent still, I think. But either way, she's still like she's in girl, you have a Dunkin' Donut. Like you are a big deal.
Yes.
So you probably have multiple people working for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, make sure she's good.
Exactly. And that's what Cleo Trappa was expecting her. I can't keep saying her whole name, but that's what Cleo was expecting her to do.
Because you're saying it wrong too.
It's not Cleo Trappa?
It's Cleo Trappa, but you keep like never mind, go ahead.
What is it?
It is Cleo Trappa, but like you say it different every time.
Cleo Trappa?
Go ahead.
It's Cleo. Okay, so that was like the first thing that happened. She carried her bags down, she put them in the car, she said she felt humiliated. So Cleo was like, she pulled her to the side when she got back to the hotel, and she's like, yo, I feel away because it's like my bags were not put down on the tour bus like yours. I had to carry them down. I looked stupid, it felt humiliating. Like, and then Ice Spice was cool. At first it seemed like she was understanding. But then she was like, well, that's my team and they do what they're gonna take care of my stuff because that's my team. So she just wasn't understanding the concept of like, you invited me on this trip, you're my friend. So obviously if you pay your team a flat rate, you're able to tell them to take my bag as well. And I guess she
Especially because
didn't.
she's one little girl.
Right.
So it's like it doesn't hurt them to do that, especially if I'm asking you to ask them and you are Ice Spice.
Yeah.
They're going to do whatever the fuck you say. So if you say to do that, they're going to do that, period.
Yeah. And Cleo was like, I'll even pay. Like, I don't mind paying them if that's what it is. And then Ice Spice was like, no, I paid them a flat rate, so they can't do it. So it was like weird. It was like really weird. So that was like the first thing, but I guess like that rubbed Ice Spice the wrong way. So during the remainder of the time of them being on tour, she was kind of like cold towards Cleo. Like not even kind of, she just was. That's what
I
Cleo
heard that
said.
she also had to pay for her own hotels.
Yes. She was actually staying in Ice Spice's hairdresser's hotel some of the shows. Because they became friends during that time. And she also said that Ice Spice tried to make her feel isolated. Like she felt really isolated because, you're on tour with this person that's supposed to be your friend and y'all aren't even like talking like that. And
it's awkward now.
It's awkward and she's not letting you in the room. And it's just like a bunch of weird shit. Like, for instance, she has this hotel room, and when Cleo went to the room to like try to change or just chill for a little bit, she's being told like, "Oh, Ice doesn't want anybody in her room." So it's like it's weird, you know. So
and
it's
then
just
I
like,
saw when Ice Spice responded, and she
yeah,
was
and
like,
I saw.
"Oh, you didn't tell them when we went out to eat, and we went and got Italian, and you
That
ate
shit was
everything on the
funny.
table."
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. She was like, "You fucking vacuum," and then she was like, "You want to lay in my bed?" She was like, "Damn, can I have a second just to play with my pussy?" And I was like,
Fair.
I'm not gonna lie, that took
Fair,
me out because she was
but
like, "Can I just have a second to just?" I'm like, who thinks of that?
but
But
just
hey,
make sure that your friend is good. You're the one who literally, okay, you're not paying this person. You ask them on tour.
yeah,
Like, you're not helping them with something as simple as a bag. You're not even paying for their lodging. Why did you ask her on?
correct. But a lot of the people are coming out. Ice Spice's manager came out and he was like, that's how it works. A few other people came out too, and they were like, well, that's what you experience. Sometimes when people invite you on tour, it's pretty much just you showing up and doing what you have to do, but you have to worry about how you're gonna get there, your expenses. Sometimes you're not even allowed on that tour bus. You literally have to find a way to get
Yeah,
to the next booking. So it's like
yeah.
that's how it is
There's two
sometimes.
sides to it.
But
Is that especially that Ice Spice has her own team? She's like, my team is going to worry about me.
correct, but as a friend, even if you aren't the
Right.
closest of friends, I
Right.
think that's what it comes down to it. But a lot of people are like, when you have an industry friend, and Nicki Minaj also said that you don't really have a friend, it's not a real friend. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
you also have to understand. So it's like it's a mix. I can see both sides. I can see Cleo because she really took their friendship seriously, I think, and she expected her to do because that's just human decency. If
Yeah, I
I
was just
invited
about to
somebody
say
on,
it's not even about friendship. It's
yeah,
about you asked me to be on tour. I mean, I can handle some stuff,
I can at
but
least buy you a burger and
everything,
like,
and you calling me a fucking vacuum?
yeah,
Like,
like a La Quinta, like something. I could at least be like, here's half,
right.
like something, or like for these particular dates, I got your room, and then for
Not
these
only
dates, you worry
that,
about it.
like when Ice Spice did come, it wasn't. I didn't even know Cleo Trappa was. She's not even announced as an opening act or anything. And
Yeah,
like,
she said that she posted all the advertisement and the flyers, and Ice Spice did
I didn't
not
even know she
repost
was
any of
there.
them.
It's kind of like, what's the point? And I think it was kind of like to prove that. I think that a lot of things
Yeah,
that Stormy said, even though she said she was having a mental breakdown, which I believe she
well,
was
true,
because I, you know, have them myself. But like, even when you're drunk or if you're having a mental breakdown, sometimes you say some things that are absolutely true that you wouldn't
absolutely
say when
true.
you're in your right mind.
And it has me
Because
looking
all
at
that shit
her.
about Nikki ended up being right. And
And
now all this shit, she said that she didn't fuck with Cleo Trappa like that either. Now we're seeing that's true too. And y'all called that girl all kinds of things. But
I didn't call her
she
no
wasn't
names
lying.
personally, but I
No,
was
not
just
you,
like,
but I'm just saying
no,
in
but
the
I'm
comment
just saying in
section.
general. Like I didn't call her no names personally, but I was just like, girl, sit down. I did say that. I was like, girl, I think you need to sit down and take a break.
Yeah,
But
I could understand that at that time though.
but
But
now
now it's like, what did she
it's
do to
coming out.
cause that?
Yeah,
Because
it's coming
at
out.
that time, someone was like, sit down. It's hard to take you serious when you look like a brat doll. And I'm like,
It's true. And then it's like you have Party City music. Because her music sounded like Party City music. Like it was very strange and
but she was telling the truth.
she was. She was. She was definitely telling the truth. So it's now making me look at Ice Spice kind of like,
And it's like, you don't want to think that she thinks that she's above people because she looks a certain way. But what I've noticed is that, like, I still fuck with Ice Spice's music, but I do feel like the quality has kind of like not gone
took a turn
down.
from the worst for the worse.
Oh, okay. I feel like the quality is
You ain't
not
lying. It
like
was like
I
that
don't
album
feel
was
like it's the same.
ass. It
Like,
was
but I think
horrible.
she can get away with it because she looks a certain way. And I understand that, that there's an element of she's doing some stuff on purpose, like she's trolling on purpose. But then at the same time, it's like there are people who are actually like talented, who actually like really want this. And you're just
Yeah.
able to come in and fuck
Because she
around
called Cleo a bum.
and call
And I
people a
was
bum
like,
in a
yeah,
vacuum. Call me a bum, but you call me a vacuum. I don't know. I might not be able to come back from that.
we're not coming back from that.
Like the
You
thing
share the
about singing
fucking
in
time
return,
about me at Olive Garden fucking my shit up like that, and you think we're gonna be cool?
like call me a bum by
I'll be
all
like,
means because I
hey,
can prove that I'm not a bum. But call me a vacuum because
it's like
I
calling
fucking
me a
finished my
fat
Buca
ass
de Beppo.
bitch. Right. Like it was good. Hell yeah, I finished it.
You ate yours too,
Hell
cunt.
yeah, I had 7 breadsticks. Like, so what? Like, don't call me out.
Yeah, like when did the fucking waiter even say anything? Dude, I was fucking slurping my noodles
Hey,
up, and how'd you hear it? Why would you repeat that? Like you're doing this on purpose
it's
to
like you recorded that time that we went to Vegas and I had that Olive Garden. Like, that would be so ridiculous and rude. And I think we all remember that. That Olive Garden was a fucking force. Like, it was so
the way
salty.
y'all fucked. But I would never get on here and be like, you were a vacuum. You like ate it before the Postmates driver could put it down. Like I would never like do that. Like that
Right.
was insane. That's
That was
insane.
crazy.
To even notice that, like the fact that she noticed that, held on to that, and then got it out
Because
shows
it's
that
like,
she's
you're
really a hater.
hungry. That's because if we're all eating, I'm not gonna know the shit because I'm eating
Because
my
I'm
shit.
eating.
Yeah.
And you know why Cleo Trappa was actually hungry? Because she actually has a few hits like that Hannah Montana song. And Ice Spice's songs are literally like poopy, taking my ass, doing my cash.
I'm his
Like,
poopy.
and like I like it personally, but that's why you're not tired because this bitch
Yeah,
is
because I kind of
doing
like the
Hannah
poopy thing.
Montana.
I like the like.
I don't like the poopy thing, but
I
I
do,
just like the simple-minded lyrics, like just being a bad bitch.
but it
Like
was this album was bad. But let me tell you something. Before they even got into this, I knew this was happening. I knew this was happening because I said, Ice Spice, this does not look like, and I hope that she's okay. I hope she's in a good place. But honestly, when they called her out about the weight loss, I'm like, she looks stressed out. She just looks like she's under a lot of stress. Like
Cleo
the
Trappa said
clothes
she's on
aren't
Ozempic. Yeah.
necessarily hidden like that. Her performances are not
She didn't pay for
necessarily
her
hidden like
wigs, and
that.
they said that she sent
Yeah.
in Nicki Minaj reference pics for them, and then she didn't pick them
She
up
was like this, like that.
exactly like this. And then when they asked her, she was like, "No, it's actually inspired by Princess Diana." I'm like, I've never seen Princess Diana wear
She
a
is
blue
funny as
40-inch
fuck.
bust down
She is funny as hell.
with Chinese bangs.
And she says this stuff and she's like, well, she's like, I didn't have time to play with my pussy. And it's like, well, I can't argue with that. It's to a point where I'm just like, whatever. You got it.
She has a great team behind her, I will say, because it's like one thing after another. She might not be the best rapper on earth, and she's not trying to be, but her brand deals, her sponsorships, she goes on Kai's stream. Like she's good at like getting herself out there. And also, I'm not sure if it's true, but I think she is still independent or she has a distribution deal and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's free to make her own deals. And also I like the mystery of, is she with Riot or is she not? Was she fucking with Central C? Now. Was she fucking with Central C or was she not really fucking with Central C? She's really a moneymaker.
Because they said Ice Spice and Riot is together. That's what she said.
That's what she said a while ago. And then
Cleo just said that last night. I think it was in the fourth part. She was like, yeah. And that's the original reason why she didn't want her in the hotel room, because she was like, Riot's coming. And she was like, oh, yeah, no problem.
That's
whatever.
Fair. Like,
I
get
cool.
that. But
then
I'd be like, here's $300. Go get another room, bitch.
Right.
That's nothing to her.
Well, who knows how much money she has when you can't buy a wig.
You're right. I hate that you're right. I hate that you just made
and then look at those outfits. Because
But
those
I
outfits
feel like
on
those
tour,
outfits is just that she just doesn't have style. I don't think
I was like,
it's...
that's bad.
Well, look at what she wore to the Met Gala. Okay, well, no, it's not like haters. We're off track. I completely forgot.
Oh,
Y'all,
oh,
watch Bel Air. It's been good. What we're gonna do next week, we're gonna talk about it because this week we're gonna have the finale.
mhm.
So Bel Air, really good. Continue to watch it. I will say though, this seemed like this is very much a Will and Jada Fresh Prince version, because especially that whole open relationship storyline that they have and they explored on this new one. And I like it because it's fresh, it's new, it's a fresh take. And I also like the storylines that's going on in Coco Jones, and it's a good show. But next week, we'll talk about it because the finale is this week. So the last thing is Aaron is going to chat about Teen Mom because I think he has some updates.
Yes, I have some updates, guys. I want to tell you the first update that I have is with Kayla Sessler. So y'all remember Kayla? Kayla is from Teen Mom Young and Pregnant. Um, so apparently the side chick of Kayla Sessler's boyfriend Ryan leaked messages between her and Kayla. Kayla says Ryan refuses to give up double life and calls Ryan a master manipulator. And I kind of figured that anyway because they were moving way too fast. Like, and now he's being called out for cheating. And all these messages that I'm seeing, it's just like I didn't really understand it. I'll be honest, reading it. Some of them I'm just like, okay, it's just too much. Like, girl, he's cheating on you. Because I'm not reading all that shit. He's cheating on you. And you knew he was going to cheat on you anyway, because that's why you left Luke. But the thing is, I was like, girl, you were better off with Luke. That was like the second guy that she was with. Because Luke did cheat on you, but he was trying to go to therapy with your ass. And then you cheated on him. And that's when I was like, girl, I mean, come on. And she cheated on him with this guy that she's with now, I believe. So it's like, I'm just not too sure how she thought this was going to go. And then on top of that, now you have 3 kids. And girl, me personally, I wouldn't have did it because I don't think the Teen Mom contract is going to renew. Because honestly, and you guys let me know what you think, but I don't think they're bringing Teen Mom Young and Pregnant back. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I actually think they can that shit. Which is really unfortunate because I do think that Teen Mom Young and Pregnant was really good. And I think it was more raw and uncut. And I do feel like we need something like that because they were much younger and they were much more in the
They were
moment
giving the
of being,
16 and pregnant
they were
vibes, like the
teen
OG
moms.
vibes. Yeah.
Exactly. They're like 17, they're 16, they're 18. They're teen moms. It's more appropriate. So instead of focusing on the OGs, which I'm enjoying, don't get me wrong, I wish we would put a spotlight on them again because they had some really good storylines. Like one of the girls, she was in the trailer. The other girl, um, she was dating a trans man, and I thought that was very interesting to see. That was like our first time seeing something like that. So it's like bring stuff back, like that's interesting. That and then one of the babies was missing a limb, was born with a missing limb. So it's like seeing stuff like that. It's relatable for a lot of people. It's different. We don't really get a chance to see things like that on TV. I think whoever chose that cast too they were on it. They need to bring them back because all those stories were so different, and so interesting. So I would like to just see more of that. Hopefully if they take one person off of this Team Mom OG, maybe they can bring Kayla on. I feel like that's what they're gonna try to do, possibly. Um, I did see that Kaya, if you guys want more tea, Kaya seems to be going to Now That's TV or to that other streaming service that Side Chicks of Charlotte is gonna be on. I think it's Trend TV. I think she's trying to go over there for a show. But she also has an OnlyFans, so it's like I don't really know what direction that's going in. Um, but that's the whole thing. So let me know what you guys think of that. I'm gonna recap the episode really quick, the newest episode of Teen Mom. Um, so Jade is interesting again. Jade is finally moving into her new house. That's a nice ass house too, I will say, Jade. We're seeing that her mom is getting out of jail. Christy was in jail for 2 months. I love Christy. She had a drug problem. But they took her to jail and now she's out. She wants to better her life. She wants to get a job. She wants to get an apartment. But we also hear, Jade suggesting, hey, mom, you need to go to therapy. You need to resolve all those issues so you don't keep repeating the same thing. But towards the end of the episode, we find out that Christy relapses, and she's actually on narcotics. So she ends up not wanting to take a drug test when Jade asked her to take one. So she's back on the bullshit again. So prayers to them. I do feel like Jade is gonna probably end up cutting her off because has reached a point in her life where she finally has stability and she wants to keep that, obviously. But speaking of, Ryan has been sober for a year. Now we're over to Macy. And his parents ended up wanting to have like a 1 year celebration for him being sober. And the parents invite Macy over, invite Bentley over. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, Ryan is fine as fuck. I've seen a lot of people comment and say that, and they were like, Ryan is so fine. And you know what? I agree. He reminds me of an older Danny Phantom. Like, I don't know what it is. He has the gray hair. It's like almost white, but it's something about his face. It looks so much younger now. Like he's very attractive. He's very attractive. So I like to see it. But they're celebrating a year that actually went well. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy Ryan is getting his life together, and hopefully him and Bentley can have a better relationship. We also see Mackenzie. Y'all already know how I feel about her. We did get some messages too about Mackenzie, and the concerns were pretty much what I brought up on previous episodes. Like, I do feel like Mackenzie is rushing into this relationship with this guy, partially because of all the shit that she got for some of her comments on Facebook. And y'all know what comments I'm talking about. Some would say racist. Some of the things that she said in the past, some of the things that her ex, the child of her, the father of her child, has said. There are a lot of concerns with that. So I do feel like she's trying to clean everything up. I also am kind of concerned. Somebody was like that her other kids might not treat the child as good because of the environment that they were raised in. But I do think that kids can learn, especially at that age. They're like 4 to 5 years old, maybe 6. I think the oldest is probably 6 years old. So I do believe that they can learn if Mackenzie teaches them the right way to do things. So that's not really what I'm concerned about, because I don't think that she plans on leaving Teen Mom anytime soon. So I do believe that she would teach her kids the right thing, obviously, so they don't slip up and say any bullshit on TV. Also, because she's going to be with this guy. And obviously, if her kids were to say something out of line, I'm pretty sure he would have to check her. So either way, I would like to see that on TV if they want to get into that. But she has 4 frozen embryos. She's working on her A1C right now for a smooth transfer. And we're seeing that happen. She really wants to have this baby child. I think they're rushing. They're rushing to get married. They're rushing to have this baby. I really don't see what the rush is. Just last year, she was in butt fuck land. I don't know. I just don't. I just think it's weird. But let me know what you guys think. Also, Amber announced to Leah and Gary that she is engaged. Here's the thing. I really wish that Amber would have took some time to get her life together and focus on her relationship with Leah. I know I said that before, and I'm gonna stand on what I said. I think it's way too early for her to be getting engaged, especially you knew this guy for like 10 months. And true, that's a while, but the
Hello?
circumstances. You
Oh,
said,
no, not me. I was like, my fucking microphone. I'm like, hello. Because I wanted to literally chime in on what you were saying,
oh
but my
yeah,
fucking microphone. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. You're
Oh,
fine.
okay. I saw an article. Was it Amber's ex who was getting engaged, and then Amber said that, oh, as long as she knows that he was with me first, or something like that.
Let me actually look. That could have been Amber. I wouldn't be
I think it was on one of
surprised.
the Teen Mom fan pages that we follow.
Oh
That
yeah,
someone.
Amber. That was Amber.
Okay, so that was Amber. So was that her? Was it her baby daddy, or like who was that person? Or was it that one guy that went missing that time? Or am I getting them mixed up?
Oh, shit. Okay, well, guys, we have an updated story. Actually, I'm glad that Kayla said something about it.
What did you find out?
Within just a matter of time, I realized that. So Amber's the guy that we're seeing Amber with today. Okay, guys, that was just on this latest episode. The
Breathe.
guy that she was engaged to has run off, and you remember he went missing. But
And
I
I
guess they
told you
found.
about
Yeah,
that,
you
and you
did.
told me it wasn't serious, and then you said,
It
"Oh,
was.
it is serious."
Listen, it wasn't serious because he's fine. He's literally just engaged to another girl. He's not
So
engaged
that's the
to.
breaking story.
So
He's now
that's the
engaged
breaking
to.
story.
So they're no
Yeah,
longer together.
they're not together anymore.
So, but on the show, she just got
Yeah.
engaged.
On the show, she just got engaged. And you remember I told you she had this embarrassing engagement. Like he proposed to her in
Like
front of
by the
Caitlyn
couch or
and Macy
something.
by the couch. Like it was just very
You
awkward.
did tell me that.
And it made me feel really uncomfortable. And I'm kind of glad that this happened to Amber so she can finally see that this is where her focus should not be. Like, you should be focused on repairing your relationship with your daughter.
I cannot believe that you're finding this out.
Right, like live,
I'm
guys.
like,
I just found
what?
this out.
Because I saw something, and I don't watch Teen Mom, but since you've been telling me about it,
Jesus,
I'm
what else have
paying
I been
attention.
fucking
So I'm
missing?
like, okay, when he finally brings it up, I'm gonna ask him, is that the same guy, or is this a different guy? Is this a baby daddy, or what? So I guess they're no longer engaged, you guys, and
Sure.
you're welcome for the Teen Mom listeners out there for breaking the news. Not you catching up on what's going on. You guys, Aaron is trying to catch up now on the Teen Mom T page. What's the page called? So we can shout them
Teen
out.
Mom fans, shout out to you guys because damn, like I missed a lot apparently. Like shit.
Shout out to Teen Mom fans. You guys are always on it. I always see them like posting things, and that's when I wish that I was into the fandom because they're always on it, baby.
So did they cancel Teen Mom Young and Pregnant? That's what I Element, yeah, girl. Young and Pregnant been over with. Oh damn. Okay. Well. And that was shout out to Kaya. She's the one that said it. I guess that's why she's on Trend TV now. But like I said, I think this is really good for Amber because that's what I was thinking this whole time. I'm like, girl, you need to be focused on the relationship with your daughter, especially because she was gone for how long? I literally took notes. She was gone for a long ass time, 7 months. You were
Holy
away for your
shit.
child, and you
That's a
come back.
long time for a child. Like
That's
that feels like
that's like 3
years.
years.
Yeah.
For a child, because I remember my summer vacations, just 3 months would feel like I was off for a
Felt
year.
like I was exactly, and that's the craziest thing about it. When my
Mhm.
sister was saying last month that she had to take her kids back to school, I'm like, it's been 2 weeks. And she's like, no, it's been the full summer
Yeah,
vacation. And I'm like, well, back
yeah,
when I
it
was a
felt like
boy, like it felt
years.
like
It got to a point where sometimes I was like, I can't wait to go back to school
I never
because I
felt
would
that,
be.
but yeah.
I did because my mom would be like, "Well, get up and do some workbook stuff," and I'm
Oh
just like,
yes, she
"Child,
definitely would make me do workbooks, but I
I
was always a
hated workbooks."
smart ass. I would just do that shit, learn cursive, and then go.
I used to love when they had the cheats in the back, but she caught on. You remember, and they would give you just the odd numbers. I'm like, fuck.
Literally.
But yeah, guys. So that's what happened with Another thing that I wanted to see is we did see Amber and Leah go to dinner. Amber announced her engagement. Leah seemed to be like
Like, girl,
whatever.
what the
It seemed
fuck?
like She didn't really care about it because she's not connected to Amber in that way. I do believe she loves Amber, but she doesn't know how to love her because she
Like
doesn't
from a
know.
distance.
Yeah, she doesn't know what Amber is to her. She's like, 1 minute you're saying that you're my mom, but you don't act like it. You disappear for like 7 fucking months. And I also feel like a part of me is like, I do think that Gary and his wife, I want to say her name correctly, Gary and Christina are have their own feelings about Amber, and I do feel like Leah is somewhat being influenced about by their feelings towards Amber as well. But in their
Some would say that's
defense,
unfair. Do you think it's unfair? Because my thing is, I feel like maybe you shouldn't down talk your baby mama in front of your kid, but at the same time, the kid is old enough to see who is
correct,
around and what they're doing. You're old enough to form an
correct.
opinion.
You literally said that was my dilemma with watching. I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily have a problem with that because I'm not a parent. So I can't tell a parent how it feels to be a parent. I know it must be difficult when you're taking care of this child and you care about this child so much and you're seeing her being crushed by her
Right.
mom and by her mom's actions. So I do think it's normal to be protective of your child and even how Gary's like, well, let's not get too excited. Let's see what she does. Let's not have too many high expectations about her. Let's just see how she follows through and if she's able to commit to this schedule and seeing us on a constant basis. So it's like it's a mix of both. Like sometimes I'm like, but then I'm like, Amber, you put yourself in this situation because you should be present and doing what you need to do to ensure that your child has a good relationship with you and knows who you are and understands that. But when you're missing for 7 months, of course she's not going to view you as a mom figure and run up to you with open arms. She's cautious, she's guarded, she's been hurt, she's been traumatized. And I don't know if Amber's really looking at it like that. I can't say. I do think that Amber means well. That's what I will say. I think that she means well. I think that she absolutely loves her daughter, but I don't think that she is necessarily in the place that she needs to be. I can see her getting there, but she just has to put in that work. That's what I'll say. I can see her getting there, but she just needs to be consistent and put in that work with being her mom and building that relationship. But you can't be dipping every 7 fucking months because no child is going to take you seriously. And obviously, they're going to protect their daughter and be like, girl, don't get your expectations up too much because you know how your mama is.
That
One
really
minute she
sucks.
show up, and then you're making this the time that you are spending with her, you're like, I'm engaged. So now she feels like there's always something like you're missing. You come back, you're engaged now. Fuck, I can't keep up with you. And then now this man left you, and you're probably gonna make it about that. I'm hurt. Now you're gonna disappear for 7 more months. So it's like, oh my God, girl. Fuck.
Is this Amber Portwood?
Yes.
I'm so tired of it. I mean, I'm like,
No, I'm
I don't
tired of
know,
her ass
like
too, because she does too much. You
it's
need
just been
to.
years though. Like I don't watch the show and I know this bitch's last name. That's how tired of her, right?
Do you remember when she pushed Gary against the wall? That's when I learned who Amber Portwood was. When she pushed Gary against the wall and she called him a fat ass. And she pretty much like slammed him against the
It
wall.
was a
And she was like,
display
hey, you
of
shut the fuck up
bully.
right now. And I was like,
That
whoa,
was,
who
I
is
can honestly say that was the
this?
first time that I saw a woman abuse a man. Like, that was my
It was intense.
first
I was like,
experience.
whoa. And it was weird because I'm like,
Like, I was like,
what
she's
do I
very
do?
clearly in the wrong.
She is.
And like, I never say that about women,
But
but I'm like,
I
if
wouldn't
he would
stop
have,
watching.
no, this, I would never start watching, but I'm saying, like, if he would have,
Yeah. Yeah. If it would have
I
been
would have
him.
that would have been the only time I ever understood.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is a case of literally protecting
But
yourself.
she was like abusive. Like,
She was trying to kill him.
mm-hmm. Child. But
yeah,
are y'all doing your Teen Mom 2 rewatch? Because I told y'all to do it.
I
And
hope
I
y'all
think
are.
y'all need to be doing it because Kiefer, I did not remember Kiefer being around this long. Like the fact that I'm on season 4 and Janelle just got saline breast implants and she's like, I don't know
Oh, I'm
what
glad
to
that she got
do.
saline. Saline is a good one because
She's like, I don't know what to do. And Kiefer's like, I think we should just forget everything and just fucking go somewhere and get high. And I'm like,
what?
what? He
What?
says
He
that
said this on TV?
on TV.
He
He's
meant
like, fuck everything. We should just go somewhere and get high. And I'm just
even if he
like,
meant weed, that's still an intense statement to make.
it's very intense because from the looks of it, he ain't talking about weed.
I believe you.
And Barbara's like, you're going to ruin your life again
With Kayla?
with Kiefer? You'll never see Jace again. That's it, Janelle. You're done.
I like to smoke this time of the day.
She's like, high and high. You're both high. It's so good, guys. Just seeing it
What
and just
season are you
seeing.
on now?
This is season 4.
Okay, so
And
you
just going back
progressed.
and seeing Kaylin
How many
and
seasons are there?
oh, child. I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on.
Because you're on your total rewatch. You guys, I'm gonna start my Jersey Shore rewatch soon because I just have, you know how me and Aaron both do this, and Kendrick. Me, Aaron, and Kendrick all do the same thing where we fall in love with the clip and we just quote it for at least a good 2 weeks and we can't shut the fuck up. Right now, that's me with Pauly D, and God bless me, it's fucking summer. Like,
I've been seeing that everywhere.
if you guys don't remember when Pauly D had gave this girl his number and they were talking, and the girl calls the house so much that they took the fucking duck phone off of the set, and like she continues to call, and he finally like answers one day, and he's just like, "I'm on the boardwalk and you're stalking my whole life," and he goes, "I don't know why." He's like, "God bless me, it's fucking summer," and I'm like, "You're so." Right.
There are
Like,
11 seasons of Teen Mom 2.
and okay, is that including like the newer ones? Or is that
No,
just like a virgin
that's
teen
just Teen
mom?
Mom 2.
That's
That's Teen
crazy.
Mom 2. Teen Mom, the regular one has like its own 8 seasons. Like
Yeah.
then you have Teen Mom Young and Pregnant, and that's like 2 seasons, and each season is like 24 episodes. Then you
This
have
is the kind of
fucking
TV though that I feel like we deserve because these
this is
eight
like
seasons, these eight episode seasons, these 10 episode seasons, this is bullshit.
this is what I call deep throat TV. Like this is it's long
Why?
lasting.
I would like to know because I know we have to leave. Why do you call it deep throat TV?
Because it's
Of
long
all
lasting.
things.
It's the best type of TV.
Right. Okay. Right. Well then, God bless you. It's fucking summer, and I hope that you got.
Don't get your finger on my face. Well, guess what? I hope you have fun living in the street with your boyfriend. You're pushing it.
Your boyfriend. Listen, y'all.
It's just for y'all.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
That's it, guys. You just fucking check it out. Check out Teen Mom. Check out Leah. I forgot that Leah cheated on Corey. Literally got married to Corey, and then he's like, I found out something about you. And she's like, what did you find out? And he's like, that you cheated on me right the night before our wedding or the week before our wedding. And she was like, I did. And she cheated on him again. Like, how do you cheat on this man twice?
I mean, I know how,
And
but
the
I just
fact
can't
that she
believe.
was just like, yeah, it happened.
And he
Like
stayed.
Leah, he was gonna stay. If she really wanted him to stay, he would have stayed. But she didn't want him to stay because she wanted Jeremy. That's crazy.
This is
That's
season
why
4.
Leo. This is like season 3, season 4. I think this was season 3. This
Has
was
she
it.
cheated twice, or she only cheated once by
She
season 4?
tweeted twice.
By season 4, she's cheated twice.
Twice.
Do they
She
show her
cheated.
cheating?
No, they didn't show her cheating. This was like behind. They didn't show that part
off camera.
because she's very demure, very cutesy. Like she
Very
doesn't do that on camera. Very mindful. Like the first time when they were getting back together, she's like, "Yeah, I cheated on him, but we're over it now. He forgave her." And then he's like, "I'm gonna marry you, and we're gonna live in a trailer." And that's what they did. And then he married her. And literally, once they had problems, I know he found out, but he's like, "I heard you cheated on me." He's like, "I heard a rumor." And she's like, "What is it?" She's like, "What is it?" And her eyes are so blue. Like, her eyes are so blue. She has the bluest eyes I've ever seen. And she's like, "What is it?" And he's like, "You cheated on me."
Who
A
told
week
him?
before I have no idea. One of his friends.
Sometimes.
It's a small town. It's a big town, but it's a small area. Like, they know everybody.
Because she must have cheated locally.
She did. And I'm like, I know his parents are
that's where she
sick of
fucked up
you.
at.
And then like a week before your wedding, and then her mom was
Come
like, "Well,
on.
why would you do that, Leah?" And she's like, "Well, we were having problems." And I'm like, I love me some Leah because like, girl, what? What problems were you having? Like, you guys argued maybe twice. And her mom just held her and she just cried in her arms. And she's like, "It's okay, baby." I'm like, this is good TV. You can't tell me. You can't tell me it's not.
It makes me want to do my Teen Mom first watch, but then I'm also thinking about the other Jersey Shore clip that I can't get out of my mind. That it's Labor Day weekend and JWoww comes in the room and she's like, "Listen, there's gorillas, there's juice
You should literally
everywhere."
watch both. Like, watch an episode.
I'm so invested.
And you can see, like, they literally tell you what's happening in the descriptions. You just click on a really good episode, and when I say you get trapped, like,
that's my problem though.
7
That's
episodes
why I
in,
haven't
and I'm
started
like,
with like anime. Like I started watching for the first time like adult regular animation because I always watch like Big Mouth and funny shows and shit like that. I watched Harley Quinn and then I forgot what other show. I watched the one show before X-Men. Then I got I'm addicted to animation now. I feel like if I start because people are telling me about these really good animes and they've been telling me about them for years, like which ones I would love. I'm going to get addicted to anime and I have an addictive personality. So it's like I'm going to be using all of my time to watch this shit and I have to watch other shit for the podcast and in general because I want to talk about it. Just
you
like
should
today,
watch.
I wanted to talk about Basketball Wives, but I got addicted to the drama.
Oh
the
my
Nikki Bella drama.
Because Basketball Wives was actually good.
It was really good.
It was
Guess
good.
what? Don't worry. We'll talk about it next week, babes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it next week, babes. But it's like we were supposed to talk about Bel Air. We were supposed to talk about Basketball Wives. But as soon as I remembered the Nikki Bella drama and then you brought the Ice Spice drama, fuck everything else.
Because I was literally up watching Sit's parts and refreshing her TikTok. And she talked about this shit in 6 different parts. And I was like, oh my God, like this is too much because I love Ice Spice. And it's too much for me. But I also love Cleo. So it's like, I'm going to go with Cleo because I knew Cleo longer. It's just tough. It's hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, kiss and make up. You kiss and make up. They don't want to kiss and make up.
We kiss and make up and we go. Okay. You guys have your homework. Be in your Teen Mom rewatch. Let us know whose side you're on with the Cleo versus Ice Spice thing. The Deliverance. Did you like it? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Who's your Black Excellence? I'm talking to the people. I'm signing it off. We got to go. But I'm glad that you did like it. Because when you like it, it means it's a good movie.
But all right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Love y'all.